having difficulty understanding what you are asking them to do, or struggles to follow daily routines, a schedule can help them anticipate what's about to happen, and that can reduce stress and anxiety for them. When they're able to follow a schedule independently, they can feel more in control and can be more motivated to participate without you having to remind or prompt them. We adults use schedules all the time. We might have a diary, or we might have our appointments on our phone, and that helps us to feel in control of our day. We know what's about to happen, where we need to be, and when. It's the same with children. If they can't understand the information that we're giving to them verbally, when we're explaining what their day is going to be like and what they're going to be doing. A visual schedule can help to create an environment that will support your child's language processing. The schedule remains for as long as your child needs it, so you don't need to constantly keep reminding them. And this can make them more independent, and it can reduce the stress and anxiety about what's about to happen. And it can prevent those negative behaviours or some distress. You can use any form of visual which your child understands. This could be an object which represents a place or an activity, like this spoon, meaning snack. So this is my object schedule. My picture is at the top. First, I'm going to brush my teeth. Then we're going to have snack. I'm going to read some books. Then I'm going to go to soft play. And then we're going to have a bath. So each of these objects is representing either a location or an activity. If your child is able to look at a photo and understand, for example, that this photo represents their bathroom, then you could use photos to suggest the next activity or location. Perhaps your child would be able to understand that this symbol means toilet. If they do understand this, then you can use a symbol rather than a photo. It doesn't matter which you use as long as your child understands what it represents. You could use a mixture of photos and symbols. And therefore, you could use a symbol. You may need to teach your child what these photos represent. So each time you take your child to the toilet, show them this picture. And gradually they will associate going to the toilet with this picture. So when they see this picture on their schedule, they can anticipate that the next thing they're going to do is go to the toilet. And hopefully they'll take that picture and go to the toilet without you even needing to tell them, because it's on their schedule. If you're going to use a schedule at home for your child, it needs to be used throughout the day, every day, each time your child moves from one activity or location to the next. They've got to be able to rely on it to cover all the things that you're doing so that they can really anticipate what's about to happen. And this can help them feel more in control and calmer about doing different activities and transitioning from one activity to another, which some children can find really, really stressful. If they know what's happening next, that can reduce that amount of stress. So for example, if you're going to the shop before you're going to the park, make sure that's on their schedule. They might not like going to the shop, and they might really like going to the park. And this can help them to understand that, yeah, they do have to go to the shop, but then they're definitely going to get to go to the park. You do have to make sure that they do get to go to the park if it's on their schedule. This can help them to be more motivated to do less motivating activities. And it also means that you don't have to explain to them using lots of verbal language which they may not be able to understand. You don't need to explain, you can just show them on their schedule. It can be really helpful for your child to be able to match the schedule picture to an identical picture at that location. For this example, the bathroom. Some children really like matching, and it can help to transition them because they're looking forward to sticking this picture next to the identical picture. These are called matchbacks. And you can have these in all the locations that your child will be transitioning to, even locations outside of the house. So you might want to have a matchback in the car so that they can take the picture off of their schedule, go to the car and match. Or if you're using the bus, you could have a picture of the bus or the bus stop, and again they take the picture and you can hold this with them while they're waiting at the bus stop. And there they are, they're at the location where you want them. You've had no worries about trying to get them to change from one activity to the next because they're following their own schedule and they're doing their own matching. And when they're at that location, they can get on with that activity. To prompt your child to go to their schedule at the end of an activity, you simply give them a photograph of themselves. They will then take this to their schedule and they're going to post it in a box or pocket or envelope at the bottom of the schedule. Then encourage them to take the top picture off. They then need to take that to the matchbacks at that location. In this case, again, the bathroom. Then they're in the bathroom. When they've finished in the bathroom, you can give them another photograph of themselves to send them back to their schedule. Keep your child's schedule in exactly the same place so that they always know where to find it and they can find it themselves without needing your help. Make sure you've put the new pictures on first thing in the morning so that it's ready for the day before they get up. The schedule could be for the whole day, or you could break the day down. Say if I'll have a morning schedule and then change it at lunchtime so that the afternoon is there so it's not too long. So some top tips for using a schedule. Firstly, remember your child won't understand this system straight away. They need to learn how to use their schedule and you're going to need to teach them. Firstly, with loads and loads of support. You may need to help them hand over hand by taking the pictures off, helping them to carry them to the next location and then match them to their matchbacks. You might need to help them when you give them their picture. You're going to have to teach them that they need to take their picture to their schedule, match it to the picture at the top and then slip it into the pocket at the bottom. All of that's going to need loads and loads of help. Gradually, as they learn the system, you can reduce the amount of prompting you're giving them and hopefully eventually they will be able to follow the system independently. So you just decide what they're going to do in advance and they will go ahead and follow each of those locations and transition each time independently. That's where we want them to get to. The second top tip is please use the schedule consistently if you're going to use it. It's not fair to use it one day but then not provide it for them the next day, because once they are up and using their schedule, they're going to be reliant on this to keep them calm and happy so that they can go through the activities of their day without getting stressed or uncertain about what's happening next. They'll start to rely on this and that will help to keep them calm and motivated. Thirdly, remember to always set up your schedule before your child goes to use it. So in the morning, if you can set up the schedule for the morning before they're even up, then you don't have to prevent them from getting to their schedule while you're sorting out all the pictures. And lastly, make sure that you're using the pictures, symbols or objects that the child understands. So we have to make sure that they're at the right level for their understanding, and your speech and language therapist can help you with that. There's a range of symbols in your pack and you can make your schedule out of cardboard or paper. It's best to laminate pictures if you can, and then they'll last a bit longer. You can either have your schedule vertically or horizontally, whichever fits in with your home, but keep it that way once you've started. At school, we often recommend that they are vertical, so it might be better to start with a vertical schedule so that when they transition to the school, they will be used to that, but that's if it fits in to your home. If you have any questions about schedules, please talk to your speech and language therapist.